talk about this still for another 3 hours, this Rangers Game 7 situation and how we got here over Friday and Saturday. The Astros, they come through. It was devastating. I was there Friday. Altuve, that son of a gun, to me, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I guess there's arguments the other way, but that dude is one of the most clutch guys I've ever seen in my lifetime when it comes to situations like that. Congratulations to him. Screw you, but congratulations to him. Then you go to Houston. Houston looks like they get off to a good start yesterday. Base hit. Then a base on ball by Brantley. Then Bregman. That was a huge out, by the way, to get Bregman to fly out. Bregman, there were a lot of times that Bregman came up in a bigger situation. If you look at the third inning, he comes up with a runner on second and 1 out, and we strike him out. He comes up with 2 outs, runner on first base in the 5th inning. He pops out to the catcher. So I thought the Rangers did a good job on Bregman, but where I'm getting to is in that first inning after Yordan Alvarez gets the hit, and it's first and second with 1 out, and it's 1-0. Oh no. The Astros are going to overcome this whole Houston jinx where for some reason they can't hit here well this year.
Can I tell you something that I learned just real quick?
Yeah, go.
Dubon was on with the pregame show on Fox with and I can't remember if it was A-Rod or Jeter that asked him, but he said, hey, you guys have been kind of struggling at home, but y'all are doing great everywhere else. And Dubon said that the batter's eye in Houston is giving them problems. He said the batter's eye here is great, and it's real wide and big, and for some reason, but we'll fix it. Yeah. But yeah, he admitted that they've had problems with something at their home field. I don't know what it is.
And that's all inside their dome, right? That's inside their head because the other team's having to hit there too. The Rangers didn't have a problem scoring 9 runs there. The Rangers haven't had, obviously, they did win the first game 2-0, but other teams have come into Houston, whether it's the Oakland Athletics, whether it was the Kansas City Royals in September, whether it's right now the Texas Rangers, whether it was the Minnesota Twins for a game there in the divisional round. It's inside their head because after that first inning, they really struggle. Dubon does get a big sac fly. I got to give him credit, man. That was a fastball. I thought that ball was up enough to get the swing and miss, but I give Dubon a lot of credit there in the 6th inning for getting to that ball, flattening out his swing, and getting the sacrifice fly to knock in Yordan Alvarez. Those are their 2 runs of the game. They can't score at home on a consistent basis. Does it automatically mean the Astros are not going to score tonight? No, but it's inside their head. And Corey just gave you an example of they're admitting that they can't hit there, that they're already in a weird way at their stadium psyched out about their situation. We don't hit well here. And they got asked questions about it after they won Game 5. They got questions about it after they lost Game 6. This is where the Rangers have the biggest advantage, is mentally right now. The Rangers believe that they're going to win tonight. Does it mean they will? No. But it always helps to have the right mindset going in the game. Do the Astros believe they're going to lose? No, they don't believe they're going to lose. But they do, in a way, believe that they struggle to score runs there. And so that is one of the things. All it takes. And, you know, Max Scherzer, I have no clue how he's going to do. I literally have no clue. This is an unknown. I get that I don't have an idea of what Christian Javier is going to do, but we've seen him in playoff situations. We've seen him in this situation. He's not coming off of an injury. So you have a better idea on how Christian Javier is going to attack the Rangers with his 93, 94 mile an hour fastball that looks like 106 to hitters. And we know what he's going to do, how he's going to attack, how he's going to execute his game plan. I have no clue what Max Scherzer's game plan is because he doesn't know what he's going to have and not have tonight.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't really have fastball away to righties. He didn't really have good breaking stuff consistently to hitters in his first game. Does he know he's going to command both sides of the plate tonight? Does he know he can elevate his fastball and then drop a changeup right below the zone to get his swing and miss changeup going? He doesn't know that because he hasn't pitched enough to know what is working for him right now and what are things that he needs to avoid. He's trying to figure that out on the fly.
In the bullpen, when you're warming up, Mike, do you know if you have it or not, or do you not know it until you step on the mound?
You have an idea, but okay. I always felt like this. It's a general. This is only speaking in generalities. is when sometimes you're struggling in your bullpen, but you're physically okay. Nothing's hurting you. The ball's coming out of your hand firm. You're like, man, I feel good releasing the ball. I feel good finishing the ball, but the ball's not going where I want to. A lot of times you then focus so much. You're like, I got to concentrate my ass off because it didn't go well in my warm-ups. I'm trying to, by the way, when you're warming up, it's not like you're Luka Doncic. Like Luka would be horrible at baseball. You actually have to try while you're warming up. And so you're giving a very good effort in the bullpen to get ready.
Okay.
And so you're not facing a hitter, but in your mind, as you get close to the end of your bullpen, you are facing a hitter or two, working on this is versus a righty, this is versus a lefty. Sometimes you get specific in the lineup you're facing on who you're facing.
Make it a game.
And you don't throw well. Then you go into the game going, dude, I gotta bear down here. The ball's not going where I want, but it doesn't mean it hasn't gone right yet. I haven't thrown a pitch in this game. And sometimes your brain turns on so well that you're able to throw the ball where you want. Like, wow, what a horrible bullpen session to have a great game. The opposite can happen.
Yeah, yours.
The catcher can close his eyes, and you're just spotting every pitch. You throw 40 warm-up pitches, and you have spotted 38 of 40, and you are like, dude, I am on, game over. That's a good mindset to have. But sometimes you turn your brain off a little bit going, I just had one of the best bullpens in my life. It's just going to carry over into the game.
Okay.
And then you turn off your focus button a little bit, and then you're like, oh, crap. I kind of, in a way, let up because that was such a good session down there. I got into the game and just assumed it would carry over instead of like, I still got to bear down. So for this game, I feel like mentally the Rangers have the advantage. Obviously, home field has meant nothing in this series. I will say tonight, I talked about the X factor going into Friday and then / Sunday. We obviously didn't have a show on Saturday. I got to come on yesterday with KG, and I said, look, the X factor for this series is your two starting hitters. It's 1 and 2. They're the ones that are getting paid over $30 million a year. And yes, you want other guys to come through, and other guys have come through. But when you look at this 6-game series and you look at what Altuve and Yordan have done versus your two guys, these are the big money guys. Their big money guys have performed at a much higher level in this series than your guys have. So 1, we have the mental advantage. 2, they have the starting pitcher advantage. I don't care about the name. I do not care about the name Max Scherzer. I care about what I've seen from these guys in 2023 and leading up to the playoffs.
Will that be mental for the Rangers hitters, though? Because they got to figure out how to hit this guy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it's interesting that they have a machine to try to get them more prepared for this, but I just wonder how much is that positive and how much that psychs them out that they're having to bring in special tools to have a chance to hit Christian Javier. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and because I did hear about that, and I think they, even in those at-bats, they didn't do very well against the machine. And I also wondered, well, now you're overcorrecting for this one guy, and then you have to adjust and go back to everything else with all these other pitchers. So it is a little weird in a game where you're going to probably see more than just one pitcher tonight.
And Christian Javier is a very hittable guy. It's not like he was the Cy Young candidate the last 2 years. That was Framber Valdez for last year and parts of this season. And I give credit, Framber threw the ball pretty well last night. He had a rebound game. We're kind of hoping the same thing from Max Scherzer, right? Max had a struggle in his first game. We're hoping there's a rebound game here. But advantage Houston Astros when it comes to the money players. Altuve and Yordan Alvarez are doing more in this series consistently than Semien and Seager. Seager, to me, though, is getting a little unlucky. 1, he has to calm down his approach. We had Joe Davis on, and he did mention, because he's seen him in all his playoff games before this with the Dodgers, he can frustrate you with how aggressive he is, because in the playoffs at times you're like, dude, he's struggling. You don't have to swing at his first strike. Just because he threw a strike doesn't mean you have to swing at it. But it's really tough for a guy to be a certain way for 6+ years and to say, don't be that way because it's the playoffs now. Be a little bit more patient. I'd love for Evan Carter to get a hair more aggressive, but that's just not who Evan Carter is right now. He can possibly change. He's just 21 years old. But I look at their big guys versus our big guys, advantage them. They have the advantage on the mound. I am scared of our bullpen. I'm just being honest here. I felt like the Rangers before Game 5 needed to win Games 5 and 6. It's an Eovaldi, Montgomery at Eovaldi type of team. And right now, I don't know what to think of Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer and somebody else. I don't know who that other else is. Is it Dane Dunning? Is it Andrew Heaney? Is it John Gray? I don't think it's going to be John Gray, and I don't think it's going to be Martin Perez. I think it'll be more Heaney and Dunning. Can those three guys, Scherzer, Heaney, and Dunning, can they get you 18 outs? And then Bruce Bochy did great.
Do you have
last
trust
night.
in Boch? I guess that's the big deal, right?
And we'll talk about this at 11:20, but I really think I was talking to Sandler this morning and he brought this up, so I'm going to give him credit, but I also agree with him on this, is that Dusty Baker screwed up yesterday when he threw Stanek and didn't want to use Presley because there was a day off, is that it allowed Jose Leclerc to come out of the game. If Jose Leclerc, who threw 16 pitches last night, had to throw another 15 to 25 pitches and get to 30 plus to maybe he wouldn't have got to 40 pitches, but 30 plus pitches. How is Leclerc going to be after throwing all of these playoff games, throwing 30 plus pitches last night? So that grand slam home run, hit by pitch and then grand slam home run, was able to have Leclerc, I won't say I'll say as fresh as possible, because he's not fresh, but as fresh as possible for tonight's winner take all of the state of Texas, winner take all of the American League Game 7 in Houston, where they are crapping in their pants that they have to play in their own stadium tonight.
Somebody in that bullpen has to take control of it and say, I got you, Leclerc, don't worry about it.